Alright guys, welcome to another GhostGamers.net presentation. I am joined today by Marak of the Honcast community, and we're going to be shoutcasting a game between EG and DskB here. It's for the quarterfinals of the winner bracket of the Steel Series World Cup. Marak, how you doing today?
I'm doing fine. A little late over here for us Europeans, but just filled my coffee cup and I'm good to go. Hoping for an exciting match.
Yeah, it really does seem like it's going to be an exciting match. Two great teams. DskB probably one of the most underrated teams in Han right now, in my opinion, and EG obviously just a powerhouse of the American circuit and even the world. EG actually good with their full lineup today. B-Kid and Shu, obviously the main people. B-Kid hasn't been around very often. I don't really know why, but haven't seen him as much usually.
No, it does seem that they have had sort of a lot of roster changes recently. B-Kid and Chu going in and out of the team, but nice to see them both back on. And we definitely know they have good chemistry, so it bodes for an exciting matchup.
Yes, it does. And actually, we already had the bands coming out, and bands for this game were Bombardier, Repulsor, Thunderbringer, Devourer, Pebbles, and Tundra. Obviously, the standout band there, Bombardier, but when you think about it, it really isn't, because Chu is probably the most dominant Bombardier I've ever seen. In the short 2 weeks that he's been around, or 3 weeks or whatever, he played him last week and literally just dominated games with him without even thinking about it. So no real surprise in that band there. The rest of them pretty standard. Tundra obviously kind of one of those more recently a very popular hero, especially with someone I can't remember who plays him.
Fuji Apples.
Yeah, Fuji Apple plays him quite a bit, and yeah, obviously just for him, don't want to play him. But I mean, any other kind of standout bands there for you? Or are you thinking they're both pretty standard?
Dustbin band Pebbles, I don't know, and EG usually not very much a Pebbles. They rarely recruit him in the lineup, as far as I know, anyway. But other than that, no, Repulsor, Devourer, Thunderbringer, very sort of standard mid-hero bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty standard.
Yeah, well, the one thing that I don't see is more of the support hero bands. Obviously, like those four picked right there, the four picks that already have come out, Hellbringer, Glacius, Andromeda, and Witchslayer. None of those heroes banned. The only one I'm surprised we haven't seen yet is Voodoo Jester, but obviously you don't need them any support. But none of those support type heroes banned, especially the ones that are very effective in tri lanes. So I mean, it leads me to believe that these teams are both looking to run tri lanes, as they didn't ban any of those heroes.
No, it's something that teams have gone away from recently. Banning support heroes is becoming sort of a moot point because, with the innovative metagame that we're in these days, there's so many trial lanes that come in and out, and there's so many different trials that work. I mean, if you ask me right now, I'm not going to do that, but I could probably name you 20 trial lanes that all have their merits in certain situations, and all of them require different support heroes. So basically, banning a Glacius or something, that just means that, you're taking away one option out of 20 is sort of a mute point. As I said, so banning support heroes is less popular these days, simply because there's so much versatility in what you can run with them.
Yeah, definitely a point to that there. There's just so many heroes you can run a trial and so many teams experimenting with things that is really no point in banning those standard heroes because they'll just find someone else. I already have some of the picks going out for DskB. We got Bubbles, Andromeda, Defiler, and Witchslayer over there. So they're looking kind of. If they pick up a hard, obviously it looks like they're going to pick up a hard carry, but obviously Defiler and Bubbles both very good solo heroes in their own right, and Bubbles playing on that long lane is always a good thing with that Shell Surf, the escape mechanism he has.
Yeah, this Richard Hague is going to have a hell of a time. As long as a lot of other heroes, because Bubbles and Defiler, they both synergize so well on a team. Their ultimates, for obvious reasons, the synergy between those two are just perfect, and they both have a fairly long duration silence. So heroes like Richard Hague are going to have lots of trouble with that double silence combination.
Yeah, obviously, Silence is probably one of the most underrated or overlooked abilities of that Defiler. But 6-second silence in an AOE is no joke at level 4. That really can disrupt a lot of team fights, and even you see their team with people like Glacius and people like Magnus and heroes like Hellbringer. It's bad for them to synergize the kind of things that they have, and especially with that Bubbles silence added on top of that. If they manage to time that well, then you could be silenced for a very long time.
Indeed.
So yeah, for the EG picking up their final hero, and it looks like they're going to be going with Soul Stealer, Glacius, Magnus, Wretched Hag, and Hellbringer. No obvious tri-lane to me there, but it seems like they won't be running a tri-lane, to be honest. I can't see a reason that they would try and. I mean, I guess they could try lane Soul Stealer, but I don't really see a point in that.
No, it's not viable. I mean, if you had to ask me, I would say 2-2-1 setup with possibly a Soul Stealer and Glacius mid, which is it's a lane that is sort of overlooked because it has a lot of damage potential, but it's definitely viable. A little bit squishy, but still. And Magma's Hellbringer just a solid lane with some pretty decent damage, and of course hack on that solo. So we can definitely see both a 2-1-2 or 2-2-1 setup depending on what the Legion team does. So very versatile lineup for the Hellborn team, but probably not tri-lane capable. No.
No, it just doesn't seem like they're going that route, and obviously it just looks much stronger as a 2-2-1 or 2-1-2, like you said. Yeah, and for the Legion team, we have Hammerstorm, Andromeda, Bubbles, Witch Slayer, and Defiler. That one looks a lot more like a tri-lane. Looks like they're going to tri-lane Hammerstorm, and then have Bubbles running the long lane and Defiler in the middle. So looking good to see in those matchups. Obviously, Bubbles he's been picked up a lot more recently and a very strong hero. So I don't see why he wouldn't be picked up more. But
oh, you're definitely right. However, I don't think you will see Bubbles in the long lane. I think they're going to tri-lane top. They're going to tri-lane the long lane because they have a very aggressive tri-lane with triple stun. And Hammerstorm just known for very disruptive sort of long lane in the long lane, and then they're gonna Bubbles short lane, and that is actually what they're moving. At least that's what they're moving towards now. So I think that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that does look like they're doing. That does make sense. You're right. With the triple stun, they're really looking to get those kills. I mean, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to get kills with the Andromeda stun, and then obviously there's just a lot of easy stuns to hit there. It's really not much to it. We see the Legion, or the Hellborn rolling out of their lanes. It looks like they might be running a tri-lane with Hellbringer, Glacius, and Magmus, but I feel like they're probably just going to run a roaming Magmus. It just seems like it makes more sense.
Well, I mean, even so, I mean, a Glacius Hellbringer lane is not really I don't know. I mean, it could just be a first blood attempt, but if on the other hand, Hag is moving top, so maybe they are actually going to run this tri-lane. This is something I've never seen before. I don't know. You'd expect them maybe to lead the farm for the Magmus, get an early portal key. It's going to be interesting to see how they divide last hits in this lane. But definitely sort of a counter tri-lane, which is ironic because the Legion team has a very aggressive tri-lane on their own. So, interesting setup here.
Yeah, not only that, but the Legion tri-lane obviously already going top, so running a counter tri-lane not in the same lane, kind of difficult. But if they are in fact running that counter tri-lane like you suggested, like that's what they're trying to do, you might see them move top here pretty soon and try and counter that tri-lane the Legion already has set up. The Legion players kind of roaming around in the Hellborn jungle, kind of looking for someone to first blood on. Look like they might go on to Soul Stealer right here, but it could be dangerous for them because the Hellborn team does have
gang.
Magmus and Glacius are moving towards that mid lane as well, and looks like the Hellborn team's going to initiate first. Glacius comes in with the slow, and Soul Stealer's coming in, but Soul Stealer actually got Souls first, and actually now the Legion team coming in with their initiation, but I don't think it's going to be enough without the Defiler. Obviously, 2 on 3 is not as good. So we do see the first blood come out.
Yeah, both teams just had the same idea right there, which was leaving their 2 tri-lane support heroes just roaming in towards mid, not really knowing who they were going to be facing, and then fortunately for EG, they were just a moment sooner than Dustbin, which got them the first blood. So fortunate for them.
Yeah, well played with them not waiting around like Dustbin did. I feel like Dustbin waited a little bit too long on that. They were really in position and then just kind of sat up there for a while and didn't really do anything. And good job by EG jumping on that opportunity and managing to get that first blood. So obviously that puts them out to a good gold lead and getting that first blood. Who actually got the kill on that one? Yeah, Magmus got it. So good for him. Working towards that portal key obviously eventually, but needs to pick up some boots and striders first. Picking up those striders is good for him though, because he can go and set up kills more quickly at that middle lane. Obviously getting Soul Stealer more farm than the Defiler over there. So I'd like to see Magmus roaming around this game, to be honest. He's better served running around to that middle lane and getting Soul Stealer kills than sitting here and babysitting Hellbringer, which doesn't really need any babysitting.
No, I'm sure he will be roaming as well, and also picking up quite a few last hits in this lane. They're probably going to split them between Hellbringer and Magmus. Something interesting is Hammerstorm still haven't left top lane. I mean, I really doubt that they're going to want to stick with this Hammerstorm going against Richard Hag, because that's a matchup he's going to lose 10 times out of 10. So at some point we're probably going to see Bubbles going top and Hammerstorm going down to join Witch Slayer and Andromeda at bottom, but a little bit not bit unsure what everyone's going at this point. Seems like the Legion team doesn't really know what they want.
Yeah, it looks like the Legion team kind of running around behind tower here behind. Sorry, he's playing the B kid. Running around behind Soul Stealer, just kind of setting things up. Andromeda kind of just suiciding an illusion into the tower. I don't know about that, but she's looking to set up a stun onto Soul Stealer, and she will, but Witch Slayer not really ready for it. He's kind of backing up still and not really in range for his stun, so nothing will come of that initiation. But Soul Stealer still sitting here. How's he farming so far? Not the greatest creep score. Defiler's up to 10 and 5 right now, whereas Soul Stealer's only at 4 and 4. So Defiler doing a good job of dominating that lane against Soul Stealer. Obviously someone who can farm well, but needs those levels on that demon hand.
Well, yeah, but Soul Stealer usually, he struggles in the first like 2 or 3, even 4 or 5 levels, before he collects some souls and get some of his auto take damage up, and his nukes aren't really very powerful at level 1 or even level 2. So I'm pretty sure BKid is going to make a comeback. I mean, I'd be surprised if anything else.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Soul Stealer one of those heroes where even if he gets the poor farm at the beginning of the game, can really come back with those demon hands once he gets a mana pool and, the demon hands leveled up and can just clear creep waves easily.
Indeed.
It really just pick up his farm exponentially. As we see Wretched Hag going down top to that triple stun lane. Even with that blanket, it's just kind of unfortunate because there's really nothing she can do if you're stunned for, if you're stunned for a couple seconds just because of the combination of those stuns. They do enough damage as well to just take her down. Wretched Hag obviously not the beefiest hero. As we see Defiler getting chased by Magnus and Soul Stealer here. Don't think they have enough. Oh, maybe they will with the demon hands, and looks like they will be able to take her down in the river. Witch Slayer just didn't get there in enough time to throw that stun. Still a little bit out of range. Wretched Hag putting some good pressure on Hammerstorm right now, but he'll just use a health pot and back up. And Soul Stealer return to his farm down in middle. Yeah, so it's looking more like I mean, I guess they really want to roam these Glacius and Magnus, which I think is their best option, but Wretched Hag obviously kind of getting the short end of that deal up top, still playing against that tri-lane, while Hellbringer and Bubbles go 1v1 in the bottom lane. Bubbles has a pretty good creep score. He's got 11 and 4. Hellbringer up to 15 and 9 though, obviously, because he's been staying in that lane the whole time, not swapping around. So he's been getting that good creep farm, and that's what I mean. He doesn't really need a support hero there to get good creep farm. Hellbringer's a hard hitting range hero. He doesn't need someone there to be babysitting the entire time. Wretched Hag already picked up her bottle. How many creep kills is she? Yeah, she's 14 and 9, so she's doing very well, despite being in that 1v3 kind of situation. Getting a decent creep score, obviously not the best in the game, but doing a very good job of getting creep kills when she can. And
Indeed. Well, also to note, I mean, she was soloing against a Hammerstorm for some time, which also helped her get off to a slightly better start. Getting in that bottle picked up and allowing her to cope with this trial lane slightly better. Actually, we see Ports coming top now. Glacius and Magnus, they might try to set something up or maybe just join Hag in a sort of trial lane, but I'm pretty sure with the way they're positioning themselves right now, we're going to see some sort of initiation here any moment.
Yeah, it does look like they're gonna try and jump on this tri lane, and obviously Glacius and Magnus and well, actually, it looks like Magnus is just gonna pull, maybe trying to pull him close to the tower before they initiate. A very strong combination in those three, though. Wretched Hag obviously does a lot of damage with her Sonar Scream, and then Magnus and Glacius for the hold and the stun. So looks like Bubbles is chasing down Hellbringer a little bit, but Hellbringer's still at quite a bit of life, so it looks like he's gonna be totally fine. I don't think anything good yet. Looks like Wretched Hag just has her bottle. Soul Stealer, I'm sure, has a bottle. Yep, Soul Stealer with the bottle and boots ready. Looks like his farm has picked up. Like we were suggesting. Obviously not the greatest creep score, as we see Bubbles actually taking down Hellbringer mid, and bottom and mid. Soul Stealer getting nuked down pretty hard by Defiler. Looks like he might be able to get out of there as long as he can get out of there. Yeah. The ult Ghost not moving fast enough to catch him, but yeah, Bubbles good take on Hellbringer down the bottom 1v1, just managing to take him down, I'm sure, with his nukes. That matchup really isn't that good for Hellbringer, just because Bubbles does so much burst damage than him. Hellbringer's peak damage